Okay, so you guys, I hope you're liking the series. I spent the last 2 years thinking about doing this video series of how to make money on YouTube, how I got started, tips and tricks, things that I've learned along the way, so that my what I've gone through, my experiences can help you or prevent you from making the same mistakes I made. So today we're talking about thumbnails. You guys may not think thumbnails are important. They're probably one of the most important things on your video. Uh, there's a few things to talk about. Some of you don't have the right to use thumbnails to create your own thumbnail yet. Some of you do have the right to create your own thumbnail. Let's start with the people who don't have the right to create thumbnails. By the way, that's a perk you get like really, really soon. So if you've been a channel for a little bit and you're starting to grow, you'll get create a thumbnail. Probably one of the first perks you get, okay? Don't use fake thumbnails like let's say you're using some sexy woman and she's not in the video at all. Don't do that. Okay, that's a no. Don't put up false thumbnails about your video so that it's what they call clickbait. So you see a woman in bikini, it'll get clicked on every single time, even if you're talking about the stock market. Okay, so don't do that when you get the right to do that. But let's go with the people who don't have the right now for thumbnails. A lot of you out there have just started. That's why you're watching these videos. So let's talk about how can you get the thumbnail you want. So YouTube automatically gives you 3 different recommendations, and what it does is it takes a random frame. I don't know how they pick the frame, but they take a random frame from the very beginning of your video, a random frame from the middle of your video, and the end of your video, and you can pick which one you want to use as a thumbnail. All right. This is how you can kind of work around that and kind of cheat YouTube into using the thumbnail you want. So make a graphic thumbnail, put it at the end of your video for like a minute. When the video is over, they'll know it's over. So it's going to show the thumbnail for a minute. It doesn't really matter. They'll go on to another video or they'll go to your next video. But for like maybe 30 seconds or 60, not even 60, you probably just need 30 seconds. What'll happen is YouTube will suggest at the end of your video, your thumbnail graphic that you've created and put at the end of your video, it'll be one of the suggestions that it will let you do. So if it doesn't let you generate your own, kind of force YouTube to recommend the one you generated, okay? Put it at the end of the video. Nobody cares what's at the end of the video. You've already seen the commercial. You've already made your income. If you're making income, you probably already can. If you're making income, you can already generate thumbnails. But if you're not and you're working on your thumbnails, that's how you cheat the system. Put the graphic, put your thumbnail at the end, okay? And then YouTube will recommend it. You click on it, and that's how you can get the thumbnail you want. You want a good thumbnail. There's been arguments on how to make thumbnails. The argument is, if I write, like some people write the title or write information on their thumbnail. I don't like writing on a thumbnail. Me personally, I just don't like it. I've tried it. It doesn't make a difference to me. I've never seen it increase viewership or traffic or better selection or anything. More people click on it because it's writing on it. So your thumbnail is really important. Now let me tell you some good thumbnails that I made in the past. I did mayonnaise cake. So I had a jar of mayonnaise and had a white frosted cake. So it looked like it was frosted in mayonnaise. And it was truly a mayonnaise cake. You made the cake with mayonnaise, and because all mayonnaise is egg and oil. I mean, you got that already in the recipe anyway. It's just already been put together. So that's how, so that kind of, it was kind of a shocking thumbnail. You're like, ew, mayonnaise and cake. And you see it in the thumbnail and you want to know what's that all about. And you hope people question that thumbnail and they click on it. And they did. And a lot of people watched that video. You want to get a mouth-watering shot if you're doing food. You want to get a good shot if you're fixing cars. So let's say you're talking about changing tires and you're showing a picture of a carburetor. That doesn't make sense. Be creative in if you can't find, I mean, if you can't create the image, well, make your own. I mean, like literally go into Adobe, I don't even use it anymore, Adobe Photoshop, and create your own thumbnail. I don't use Adobe Photoshop. As you guys know from other videos that I've done, I've talked about a program called Affinity Photo. I make all my thumbnails in there. So I'm gonna show you in a minute how to make a good how to put together a thumbnail, because I have a template that I use. Okay, you know, logos are good. Putting a logo. Let's say you're fixing a BMW, you get the BMW logo in the bottom corner. Like I say, I try to find the best looking image in my video, and I'll pull that out. It allows me, my software allows me to pull out a frame. So that's how I make the image look good. So the thumbnails are like probably number one and titles probably number two of importance. The thumbnail's everything. I mean, if it looks good, I'm clicking on it. I saw taco, it was spaghetti tacos or something like that. I had to click on it. It was just crazy. It was interesting. It was a good thumbnail. It didn't say anything writing on it. It showed a picture of it. I looked at the title. The title said spaghetti tacos. And so I had to click on it and find out what it was all about. So don't do clickbait. Everybody knows what clickbait is. Do honest clickbait. I recommend you take the time to come up with a creative picture that people are going to want to click on. So like, for example, I spent $100 to make chili called $100 chili. Okay. I wanted a thumbnail that was clickbaitish, but it wasn't lying to my audience. Don't ever lie to your audience. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't try and cut corners and do dishonest things. Trust me, it'll blow up in your face. So like, I took some chili and I put $100 bill in it. And I thought, that's creative. They'll want to know, why am I putting money in my chili? Literally, they'll think I do, but they'll know that $100 was spent to buy the ingredients. $250 cookie. So I had a cookie and $250. I believe I did. I can't remember that thumbnail, but anyway. So have fun with your thumbnails. When you can generate your own thumbnails, that is a very good perk. Take advantage of it. Learn photo editing software. So I'm going to show you right now, real quickly, how I do a thumbnail. Let's say, all right, I have a video called a beer bread video. I just learned about beer bread. Okay, so I'm going to create a beer bread thumbnail. I may not use it. I may use this. I don't know. But so I'm going to go to my photo software. Let me share this screen with you and show you what I'm doing. Share. We'll drop that down. We'll drop that down and go to, this is Affinity Photo. I absolutely love it. Okay, so what I did was the measurements. Let me tell you what the measurements for a thumbnail. I have a thumbnail template, and I go to that. It's a thumbnail I used many years ago on a Jack on the Go show. Watch, thumbnail template. Why am I using an old template? If you've never started, you've never done a thumbnail before. Oops, come on. You've never done a thumbnail before. That's a thumbnail right there that I created. Of course, when you look on the internet, probably more like, like that. You got to make sure when your thumbnail looks like that it can be seen, it's attractive, it'll catch the eye, make people want to click. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to tell you the measurements of this thumbnail. Hold on one second. There's a thumbnail. So what are the document measurements really quick? I'm going to act like I resized the document. I'm not going to resize it, but that'll tell me what the measurements are right now. 1280 by 720. That's full screen. Okay. That's a full screen. You can go 1980, I think, to something. I can't remember. You'll want to probably size. So what you do is you size 1280 pixels by 720. Okay. And then lock it in and you're good to go. Now I use this every week. I use that template every week. And what I do is I will I will blank it out. So I'll put in a new fill there. Boop, it's white. Now I can do the new template. Okay, I'm looking for beer and bread. Okay, so I shall jump onto the internet. Let's go right here and take a look at it. And let's do beer. Let's see if there's anything good. Then I go to images on Google and I'm thinking beer. I want a beer that'll be easy to cut out, just a bottle or something. Maybe that. No, I don't want to mess with that name. Sorry, Corona. You have a bad rep lately. Let's do a bottle. I'll do a bottle of Shock Top. That's a popular brand. Hold on one second. Okay. Now let's go down here and we'll take that picture right there. Okay, so I'll click on it and then I'll save it. Save image. And I'll save it to my downloads. Save. Now I want a picture of bread. I've already got the beer. I want bread. I want to go with something like this right here. This loaf right here. I'm liking this picture better. I'm trying to think. Let's take that picture. Okay. And we will save the image also in my downloads. And then we go back to our photo. Excuse me. We go back to photo shop or Affinity Photo. Why do I like Affinity Photo? It's only $50. You get free updates for life. And it's way better than paying Adobe again and again and again. So let's do open. There we go. Whoops. Oh. Sorry. There we go. Open these two. Sorry, I still have a runny nose. Just a regular cold today. Okay, so we're looking at the picture right now. I'm going to cut it out. Now, you're going to have to learn how to do all this. And there are videos on YouTube that teach you how to do this for whatever program you're working in. But I'm going to do this. Oh, there we go. Bread open. So I'm going to go back to the beer. Here's my beer. There it is. And I'm going to capture it, copy it, and paste it onto my bread. There we go. Okay, I'm going to turn it. Whoops. I need my mouse for this. Sorry. Let's get the mouse out here. There we go. There, we turn this. So let's turn it back a little bit like that. Okay. So now I want to erase some of the bottle. So I'm going to go up here, size my brush, my eraser, and I'm going to just erase some of the bottle there, okay? So now I look at it, I don't want to get rid of the rest of the bottle. Do I like the way it's looking? And yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get rid of the rest of this bottle. How am I going to do that? I'm going to make my brush really big. There we go. And I'm going to, there. Now I'm going to go back and move this. Oops. And just angle this at a better angle. So it looks like it's coming out of the bread. All right. So that's it. So I've graphically made my own thumbnail, and it's from a beer bread video. If I think I'll use this one. People know Shock Top, so hopefully people who like Shock Top will click on this. I believe that's the beer I used in the video. Excuse me. So I'm going to export this file. Export as a JPEG, and it makes it, and make a thumbnail out of it. Oops, I guess not. Hold on 1 second. Oh, I forgot to transfer this. So what I normally do to make sure this bread picture and the beer picture is, I do that, and I copy it. I copy it, and I go over to my thumbnail. I forgot to show you this part. The one I blanked out, and I paste it to make sure it's going to be the right size. I don't have black bars on my thumbnail. Make sure YouTube shows it perfectly, right? So that's what my picture looks like. So I'm going to take corner and I'm going to stretch it. So now it's perfectly fit to be a thumbnail. That's what I use the template for, to size my picture. It sized the beer, it sized the bread, everything's perfect. And then you export it. That's the step after that. Then you export it. Hit export and just put it over here. Let me see if I. There it is. All right, I knew it was somewhere. There it is. Thumbnail template is all done, waiting to be uploaded. You can't upload it until you're uploading the video to YouTube. But that's it. So let's go back to, let's stop sharing. All right, so basically thumbnails are like number one. We're going to talk about how important your title is later. We're going to talk about content next week. Next week, we're discussing content. I just want to let you know titles are very important. Don't lie in your titles. Don't clickbait in your titles either. They're probably the second most important thing. So, but next week, I will tell you about what type of videos to do, how to produce a video that will get a lot of clicks. I'll give you what I've learned over so many years, what's worked for me at least, okay? And hopefully it'll work for you. But that's it. So I love you guys. Remember, if you can't generate thumbnails, have YouTube pick it as a thumbnail at the end of your video, and then select that as your thumbnail. That's just my tip. All right? You guys take care. I love you, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.